Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc, coming at you live from the Upper West Side. I am your host, Michael Dolce, and as always, I am joined by the inimitable, the one-of-a-kind, not the titular, though.
George of the Jungle.
Hassan, Lord of the Radio, Godwin.
I forgot. I'm
So-
George of the Jungle on Tuesdays. I'm sorry. I apologize.
We have a killer show tonight. We have a returning special guest, Miss Kristina Anapau from True Blood. She is going to be dialing in, talking about her new movie, which I'm going to butcher. I'm going to butcher it.
She said, pronounce it.
I know.
Pronounce it phonetically.
I'm just going to butcher it in general because that's just what I do. But as a Hawaiian, she's very Kuleana.
Yes.
Kuleana. There
And
we
you
go.
got it.
I
You
did
did it
get
right.
I know. As a Hawaiian native, she's very kind and forgiving.
Success, my friend.
Unlike my co-host, who is neither kind nor forgiving.
Neither kind nor forgiving.
But we've got a great show. We're going to talk about her new movie. We're going to play Name That Vampire.
Yes.
Which is going to
be pretty cool.
It's going to go over very exciting. And
I don't know about your questions, but
wow, like I was
we'll see what
very
we'll see
clever.
how she does.
I was very clever.
You were all right.
Really,
Every time you say you were clever, we're in trouble.
I know. We are on Amazon Alexa. Go look it up. Go look up Spreaker Podcast Radio Player on Amazon. Enable it to your Alexa device. Then Alexa open Spreaker. Alexa open Secrets of the Sire. Go follow us on Twitter. It's actually my handle, Michael_Dolce, or you can look up Secrets of the Sire on Twitter. That's also secretsofthesire.com. Instagram, mdolce64. SoundCloud, Secrets of the Sire. iHeartRadio, Secrets of the Sire. iTunes, Secrets of the Sire.
Sensing a pattern.
I know. And as always, this is a call-in show, 877-480-4120. So we're going to be talking Kristina Anapau. We're also going to be diving into a little Infinity War news.
Okay.
But first, we start with a topic near and dear to everyone's heart. We're talking Star Wars. We're talking Solo. Brand new trailer just came out and immediately filled me with joy because I knew what our topic was going to be for today.
It gave you content.
Giving a little bit of background.
Ideas.
Yeah, giving a little bit of background. I actually was just messaging a writer I met at C2E2. I was in C2E2 this weekend for the debut of The Mainstream, which was pretty cool.
Okay.
It's in stores. Technically, it was supposed to be in stores today. We found out there was a shipping snafu, so it'll be in stores next week. So go to comic book stores, go order that. So I was just talking to a writer I met who's also at Zenescope, Victoria Rao, and apparently she was a big Last Jedi fan, and we know if anybody's fans of our show, we know our point of view on Last Jedi was not as favorable.
Yeah, we don't even need to go into it anymore.
Yeah,
That's how much they know.
Yeah,
they are aware.
Exactly. So we didn't like it. Not because the women were in charge or this or that. It just wasn't really a good movie.
I didn't like it because of all the diversity.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You're very alt-right when it comes to that.
I'm extremely. My
You're like that. You're like the black white supremacist in the Chappelle show who's blind and has no idea.
Yes, has no. So I really don't even have the excuse that he has.
Yeah.
Because I can see. So
This
I don't
is
know what's wrong
sarcasm,
with me.
people. By the way, I don't know if sarcasm really travels across the airwaves.
No. Wait a minute. All right.
Half our audience is like, he's black. The audience that doesn't watch it.
We got visual aids, people.
Right. Yeah. So.
Oh well.
No,
We lost that half of the audience too, by the way.
I am super duper excited for this trailer, for this movie now, because
of
the trailer looks.
Because you saw the trailer.
It looks fun. It looks like it's taking, Star Wars and giving us kind of like what Rogue One did, right?
Yeah.
Rogue One kind of took a little pocket of the Star Wars world, gave us some like nostalgic fun, introduced some new characters at the same time, new planets, and was able to kind of play in the sandbox. Whereas Last Jedi, I think we can agree among our many gripes of that film, Rian Johnson tended to kind of like poop all over the sandbox.
Yeah,
whereas,
he kind of pooped all over sand. He narrowed the playing field also. I mean, it didn't have the scope of even the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
It kind of really just. I mean, since when does any Star Wars all take a place on one ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even the Millennium Falcon had it cut away to various other sequences and various other things. So yeah. I think one of the things I really liked about Rogue One was that it was finally a venue where you could just play with the toys you already had.
Yeah.
And it expanded on what we'd already seen a little bit, but it just kind of fleshed it out and made it took itself kind of seriously, turned it into a real war movie without all the mysticism and all that other stuff, which I really like about it. But if my opinion is that the new people don't do the mysticism very well, so
Sure.
as far away
Well,
from
okay,
as they stay.
Great point, though. This new movie, the Solo movie.
No, I was about to say. So hopefully this will be a little more of the same, of expansion of things we've heard about, but
Sure.
we never actually got a chance to see.
But you posted a meme that you won't get fooled.
Won't get fooled again.
Again.
I have nothing really negative to say about this. I don't know about what's his name, Emmerich. I don't know if he's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of work to do because he's got to not only convince us that he's Harrison Ford, but he's also got to be his own man.
Right.
Doing the, so that we're not constantly saying this guy's not Harrison Ford.
Right.
Right.
And
so that's going to be, that job is, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want to do his job.
So as you're talking, we actually pulled a great Wired.com story, and it's Solo, a Star Wars story, and the false hope of really great trailers. So I think this is a pretty good one. Good day, Rogues. A new Solo Star Wars story trailer dropped last night. It looks really incredible. Donald Glover's Lando Calrissian drips swagger, which I think he does, and I think he's going to steal the show, and I can't wait. Emilia Clarke is in high society Khaleesi mode, minus the dragon white hair. There's even a few seconds of Tandy Newton for folks who can't wait for Westworld to come back. Chewie's 190 years old, and he looks great. It's easy to have a really good feeling about this. Love that. Love the line. That was the line to me in the trailer that made me think, this is going to be a good movie. This is going to be a fun Star Wars movie. I can't wait.
Right.
But they cautioned, but that's what trailers are supposed to do.
But then the article goes on.
It's their whole job. There's a science to it, one that nobody knows better than the folks at Disney, or whoever they hire to make the trailers for them. It's not a dig. It's just the way it is. And it doesn't mean the movie will be just as entertaining as the teaser. Much of the promise shows up in this new Solo trailer. The shots of the clean Millennium Falcon speeding through the space alone seems worth the price of admission. His arched eyebrow, very well done. Glover's everything you heard about me is true. Calrissian will be the movie scene stealer. There will also be Han and Chewie banter, which no one has ever objected to ever. But as with all trailers before it, if those are the things you want to see, why didn't you even go see the movie? They're all right there.
That's ridiculous, though. You go to see the movie because there's going to be more of it. It's going to expand itself. It's going to, it's going to broaden. It's going to be, it's going to be more of the same, and then of course many things that you didn't expect that you were going to get.
Yeah,
that's why you go to see the movie. The question is ridiculous.
You think so?
Yes. The question.
I think the point, though,
the question of why go to see it is ridiculous.
Okay.
Either you want to go see it or you don't.
But he's talking about the trailer itself. Does the trailer itself make you want to go see it? I think the answer is yes. But his point is, he's cautioning that everything you're gonna love is in that trailer. I mean, I remember Last Jedi trailers, and you were sitting there saying, "Hey, it's taking the aesthetics of the prequels. There's something about this. They're expanding worlds. This looks really great." And then we saw it. We're like, "This is garbage. This is absolute garbage." So we are proof of concept.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying I still had the appropriate attitude before The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Which, hey, doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
Let's go see it. Now, I didn't like The Force Awakens, so I was skeptical about The Last Jedi, but I did go to see it. I was surprised to find myself excited to see it. I saw it in a double feature. So I went to a movie theater and watched The Force Awakens and then sat there for 2 hours and waited till they rolled out The Last Jedi. And I was
that's commitment right there.
I was like, this is bad. But I was surprised because I've never seen a bad Star Wars movie. Now, yes, here we go again with the prequels. The prequels are not great movies, but they're great stories. and if you're into them, you could get into them.
Sure.
You could enjoy them. You could find nuance in them. The Last Jedi is just not a good film. It's not a good story. I don't think that Solo is going to have this problem. However, I am wondering what the stakes are. I'm like, okay. I mean, sure, we're going to see him. I mean, the two big things we're going to see is that he's going to meet Lando. Or three big things.
He's going to win the Millennium Falcon in that card game.
Yeah, he's going to meet Lando and Chewie, and he's going to win the Falcon.
Yeah.
And the Falcon's probably going to win the Kessel Run.
Yeah.
Either at the beginning of the movie, the middle of the movie, or the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Depending on how they work the story out.
That's true.
So, okay. Now they got to convince us that the other 95 minutes are worth sitting through to see those little snippets.
That's why they got Amelia Clark in there.
That's not going to do it for all of us, you know. That's like she's not going to be in it like that. Okay, so it's not going to be that much of a draw.
So
once it comes out, it's the replay factor that always takes Star Wars over the top.
Yeah.
Once you've seen it, is it going to be fun enough and alive enough and rich enough and expansive enough for you to want to keep going to see it over and over again?
Well, Mark Pensavalle, who's on our Facebook feed right now, so if you go to facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire, if you're listening to us via podcast, via iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, etc., you could chime in too, actually. You could always chime in on the video. The videos, that's the best part of it.
Yeah.
He's worried. Gabe Firamasco, who was a past guest of ours.
I wonder what Gabe's thoughts are.
He thinks it looks effing great. I mean, I guess that's what it comes down to, right? I mean, the essence of the trailer, though. And you had a good point off the air, which I want you to talk about real quick.
Nope.
The monetization of
negativity.
Yeah. But do you think that so explain what that is, and then we'll go to commercial, and we'll expand on why I wonder if that's going to be the case.
Once a narrative becomes negative towards any movie or anything like that, all of the other clickbaiters decide, hey, we could get a lot of hits by digging this thing, and that's what happens. And then everybody with an agenda comes along, and I want to get my profile up. I want to get my YouTube channel a lot of recognition.
It's like you're detailing our marketing plan right now.
Exactly. That's why I know about it, because we were just sitting around having support.
How dare you?
Yeah. So once it's not a phrase that I coined, but they said the negativity becomes monetized. Once you monetize the negativity, you're not going to be able to stop the train from rolling. That was one of the warnings that they gave for The Last Jedi. It's like, you guys got to get in front of this before the clickbaiters decide it's going to be monetary, for us to be able to do this. And the problem with Solo is it's already started. Because the backlash because of The Last Jedi, it's already in. And
the tumultuous behind the scenes where they replaced the director right there.
Now, before you go, because I know we got to go.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is, because of the goodwill that Star Wars has, if it's a great movie, it'll change the script overnight, immediately.
That was my teaser for the next segment.
Sorry.
When we come back, eyelash a son.
Listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you stuck in a rut? Negative thoughts, feelings, and conversations got you down? Hi, I'm Noreen Sumter, the Potentiator. Tune in every Tuesday, 9 to 10 Eastern Time, and listen for new ideas on my show, Beyond Potential. Live life your way on talkradio.nyc.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Talking Alternative Radio.
24 hours a day.
I love the emotional affairs.
That's awesome.
I'm having an emotional affair with you.
I have
every
emotional
week.
affairs
Like,
all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't think that was an actual insult to other people, but
well, you're not
human being.
cheating on somebody.
Well,
You
if you
have-
can do that emotionally, I'm cheating on you right now.
This is
because
true.
I'm thinking about someone else.
You're thinking about
Yeah.
Peter.
No.
Hi, Peter.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc, and streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire. We're talking Solo. Don't forget, coming up a little later in the show, we're going to talk a little Infinity War news. When we go spinning the racks, we've got the lovely Kristina Anapau coming up a little later from True Blood. She's going to talk about her new movie. But real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out to my mainstream crew. I was in C2E2 this weekend, which is a Comic-Con out in Chicago. Tony Moy was out there with me. Give a great shout out to the Comic Pros and Cons podcast. They interviewed us, gave us some glowing reviews. We've got a couple other reviews down the line. The book was supposed to be in stores today, but it's actually going to be in next week thanks to some shipping mishap, but that's okay. And for anybody who is uninitiated, it is about an interdimensional police force. Police's alternate realities, keeps bad guys from other worlds from getting into ours. So
Nice.
wanted to give a shout out to my crew.
Interesting enough for me to want to read it.
But we were talking about Solo, and you gave away a great tease. You gave away our great tease. The great tease was... So to recap, you had this amazing point, right? And you're right.
Yes, I
It's
usually
like
have those.
when... Well, it happens occasionally. When there is a narrative of negativity, basically, this movie is bad, right?
Yes.
Because you're like very highbrow when you talk about this stuff. I'm very like, I'm down to earth here, right?
You're lowbrow?
Yeah, I'm
Does that make
very
you
lowbrow. Very lowbrow. If a movie is bad, we need to pile on the bad.
Right.
And this happens outside
Make
of
money.
movies too, by the way. I mean, this is politics. This is
this is
religion.
everything.
This is why social media is actually tearing us apart.
Yes.
Follow us on Facebook,
Agreed.
facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire, Instagram.com/MDLJ64.
Well
But
done.
but seriously, that's how it works, right? But on the flip side of it, if something is overwhelmingly received, because I was going to use Black Panther as the example, right? Black Panther is the example of a movie that's just been universally praised and universally received pretty well. And you have a
Right.
minority of people, but because the narrative is this is a good movie, and it was a good movie. Like I mean,
Yeah.
out of the 10% that's BS on both sides, right?
Right.
The people that are just going to give negative reviews because that's their brand,
Right.
and the people that are just going to give positive reviews because that's their brand.
Right.
Black Panther was actually a good movie, right?
Right.
But that movie was universally raved, and the not only was the clickbaiters out there heaping on the praise of the positive, so
Right.
it works in both
That's
directions.
what got monetized.
Anybody,
the positivity got monetized.
not monetized, but anybody who was negative was theoretically seen, and probably for good cause, as alt-right, technically racist, technically people that were out to
It
get
depends
it.
on what the negativity was about, though. You know, can't
Sure.
just call them all. You know, I mean, some people just thought it was like, okay, this is an okay movie. But I don't
Right.
know why we're making. You remember when we worked at Wizard
Yeah.
and
That's Wizard Magazine. It was the comic
the
comic
guide.
book magazine.
The comic-
yeah,
yeah.
back in the day. Go ahead.
back in the day.
Not too old. We're not that old.
And
Well.
right after 2009, when Obama got elected, they
Mm-hmm.
just kept on every publication that Wizards had. They just slapped his face on it.
Oh yeah,
because that just sold a
Yeah.
heck
and
ton.
Spider-Man too. They did
Yeah.
a Spider-Man comic with
Exactly,
Obama.
and that's-
Obama was a superhero at the time.
Yeah,
he really was.
He was, and that, they
money.
monetized. Yes,
For
And
money.
he was all about for
Well,
the money.
it works
They
in reverse.
monetized his popularity.
It
though.
works in reverse now. Trump, the negativity toward Trump is monetized.
Is monetized.
You know what I
very
mean? Like
much so.
there's so it works. So again, not to get political, this is not what people come here to do is talk politics. We're talking movies, but we're making a point that whatever the
hack the planet.
overwhelming majority feel is going to happen, or thinks of the piece itself is what's going to hype them.
Sometimes, and then sometimes it overcomes it. Sometimes it gets past it. For instance, Days of Future. Was it Days of Future Past?
Yeah.
no one was talking about it, and there was no buzz about that. Everyone was like, this thing is going to crash and burn. It's going to come and go, and no one's going to know. The movie came out. People really enjoyed it. Suddenly, the narrative changed all of a sudden. Like, oh, this is, Fox is back. It's doing some great stuff now. Bryan Singer's he's got a plan. He's got a 10-year plan. He's going to push this. None of that was anything that we were listening to just before that movie came out and actually proved it had some kind of legs. Yeah. They were talking about what's Hugh Jackman's brand new movie, The Greatest Show on Earth? Sure. They were talking about that was a flop. They were saying, Hugh Jackman just doesn't have star appeal outside of Wolverine. But that show had stayed so long that it started to make make monetary inroads, and then suddenly everyone's like, oh, the little engine that could. They just changed the engine, but they just changed, they changed the story. But I think these stories stay alive and stay consistent and stay relevant because people need the content so that they can keep making money off of it.
So Mark Pensavalle chimed in, here's why I'm worried. We just saw Harrison Ford 20 minutes ago. Solo played by one actor forever. I'm not against a Solo movie. I just feel they should have done a great Obi-Wan or Yoda film first, just so we have some distance between Harrison Ford and the new Solo.
I agree with that.
Yoda's a puppet. Obi-Wan had 2 actors already. Am I making sense or am I crazy? So here's the thing. You're both.
Well, we could have gotten away with an Obi-Wan movie. We could have done a great Obi-Wan movie. Yeah. I don't know about a Yoda movie. A Yoda movie is way down the line.
You think so? I think.
Yeah, because once.
Could you really follow a puppet?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Listen, if you don't again with The Last Jedi, this foolery of real effects. The Pixel Yoda was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. Right? But they're like, oh, we want everything to feel nostalgic like Empire Strikes Back. And the puppet just does not work. Yeah. In my opinion. Now, and they didn't have the right effects on him, the whole 9 yards. You can definitely do that, but that Disney Star Wars has to be much more nuanced. It has to expand a lot more, has to get a lot more goodwill. And then they could pull off a Yoda movie, just like Disney pulled off Guardians of the Galaxy with a raccoon. If you could do that, you could do anything. Yeah. You really can do anything. And Yoda would get a lot of goodwill. Imagine Yoda younger. There was speculation that Yoda used to be 7 feet tall.
He's actually
when he
Mark
was younger.
Hamill. He's actually Mark Hamill. It's crazy.
Get him to
Mark
do that.
Hamill's like, I'm never going to be doing Star Wars again. Mark,
now
you want to play Yoda? I'm there.
Yeah, I'll do it.
And he'll do the voice, too.
Any chance to work with the puppet again.
And he'll do the voice,
Yeah.
too.
But supposedly he was 7 feet tall and he shrank.
He's Andre the Giant?
Yes.
Can we get him? What about George Mirasan?
You're off the rack now.
Now I'm just
you're someplace else.
Now I'm just done.
I have no idea what you're talking about now. I'm being very serious, and naturally you're being a jerk.
One of the things that you always claim I'm a jerk for is I promote things and then we don't follow through with them, right?
Yes.
But in this case, I want to ask this question though, and I did pose this at the beginning, and I kind of pose it now though. Did this trailer save Star Wars? And I mean this really, I really do, because as much as we want to knock Last Jedi, right? The numbers speak for themselves. Yes, it made $1 gazillion. Yeah. But Force Awakens made double that. Yeah. The backlash to it.
It made 700. The Last Jedi made over $700 million.
Right, which is like, hey, that's
a substantial drop.
That's that. So in a way, yeah. I mean, hey, you sit there and go, well, any movie that made that kind of money is not. We don't need to save Star Wars. But you kind of do, right?
Well, okay, two things.
Kind of pissed off a fan base.
I honestly don't think, as much as I dislike Disney Star Wars at the moment, I honestly don't think it needs saving. I think it's got its legs on its own. That's A. B. I don't think this trailer saves Star Wars, but I do think if the movie comes out and it's a hit, that will definitely save it from the narrative that it's suffering from. Yeah. Because it's negative press is what it's getting.
Like Force Awakens kind of went both ways, right? You had the diehards who were like, oh, Episode 4 again, and then you had the diehards who were like, not the prequels, this is great.
Yes.
So you and it served it because it did actually make all the money, which does mean that people were behind it, as opposed to Last Jedi, where you had the diehards who were the ones that put them over the top. You said it yourself, right? The diehards are the ones that got Black Panther #3 all of a sudden. You have people who are like, I love this movie. This is my movie. This is the movie I've been waiting for.
Right. I'm going to see it over and over.
I'm going to see it 5 times. Right. And that hive mind, kind of circulates and it works. The hive mind in the Last Jedi's case, backlash. But in between Force Awakens and Last Jedi, you had Rogue One. That really, for the most part, with the exception of people like maybe Tom Hutchinson, who didn't like it, who's a frequent guest on our show.
There's a
who
couple of
commented.
people who don't like Rogue One and say it ruined Star Wars,
But
it
for the
wasn't
most part,
nearly as
but
vitriolic.
Yeah, I would say it's 90-10, right? I'd say a
Right.
90-10 movie where it's like, wow, Disney really got it. They really made it. Because you sit there going, what was the point of us seeing Rogue One? And then you see it and you're like, oh, that was amazing.
Yeah,
Like, look at that. It was so
just
fun. It was great.
It was just alive. It really was alive. Without gimmickry, without, and it hit nostalgia. It did nostalgia correctly.
Right.
It didn't try to rehash everything you saw so that it could get you the exact same feelings. It was smart.
Yeah.
And showed you things that you would relate to the original movies with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've no secret. Rogue One's one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the question, can a trailer save a franchise? No.
No, the movie will save it.
Yeah.
No, and the movie won't save it because Disney's going to keep making them. The movie won't save the company. The movie won't save Kathleen Kennedy's job or anything none of that's in jeopardy. The movie will stop us from talking about how negative Disney is on Star Wars. If it's a great movie.
If it's a great movie.
If it's not.
We always have the trailer. When we come
Paris.
back, the lovely, amazing Kristina Anapau from True Blood joining us next.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
Hello, this is Bruce Chamoff, host of the Web Design and Technology Coach. Join me and my guests every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. as we discuss the latest in web design, social media marketing, search engine optimization, and technology. We also discuss popular topics, including WordPress, making money online, better Google rankings, and more. Every month, we also feature the best unsigned music from around the world, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
The superpower you wish you had?
Teleportation.
Ooh.
There you go.
I always go flight. I'm always like, I want to fly.
You teleport, you don't need to fly.
Right.
You'll never be late for work.
That's what you would do. This is why you're the co-host of a middling podcast, because you don't dream big enough.
Because I can't teleport. If I could teleport, you think I would be sitting here right now?
You'd be on time.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc,
Terrible show tonight.
and streaming live on Facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire. Hassan and I get a little treat. We get a nice returning guest on the show from the HBO hit show True Blood. She's got a new movie out, and we are really excited to have Miss Kristina Anapau back.
Hello, thanks for having me back.
So, Kristina, you are the trophy holder of one of our favorite, we call them drops, where we actually take little clips of the show. The whole teleportation thing is still one of our favorite things. We've got it clipped down to a science, so it's fantastic. It makes us all seem very, very hilarious, which is good.
That's fantastic.
So, all right, first question I got to ask you though is, how were you able to get Sense8 both canceled after appearing on our show and then brought back?
Wait, I couldn't hear the question. How was I able to get what?
How are you able to get the Netflix show Sense8 canceled after appearing on our show?
Oh, my gosh.
And brought back.
And then brought back.
That's, the power of Morella, huh? What? I know, isn't that incredible? I love that show so much.
Yeah. We were laughing because literally, it's like the week after. It's like, Sense8 canceled.
Yeah.
We're like, what?
Yeah. Did they bring it back, though? I didn't even know.
Yeah, I think they're getting or they got, I'm not sure if, like some sort of closure
like
movie or something. Not a season. It's not going to be a season.
Oh, yeah,
it's not a full season. It's not a full season, but it is something.
We'll take anything. We'll take anything at this point.
So you have a brand new movie out, and this one just you're from Hawaii, so this one is set there in the early 70s. It's called, I'm going to butcher the name, apologies, Kuleana.
Kuleana. That's pretty good.
I knew I was going to butcher it. I knew I was going to. Talk to us about
Hawaiian. Hawaiian, you just kind of sound it out. Everything's pretty phonetic.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
So everything's great in Hawaii, basically.
Yeah.
Like even
it's not like Spanish where you have to add on an entire syllable at the end of it.
So talk to me about Kuleana. It's a feature set in the early 70s, centers around a Vietnam veteran returning home into Hawaii, but finds that not all is right in the world.
Right. It's a time period in Hawaii that I didn't know much about, so it was definitely an education for me. But yeah, it takes place in the early 70s with some flashbacks into the 50s, which I happen to love the makeup and wardrobe for. But yeah, a Vietnam vet comes back to find that his family's land is in danger of being taken away, and a bunch of other horrible things going on that are representative of what was going on in Hawaii at the time, which was sort of the the takeover of the white man, so to speak, and to the detriment of the Hawaiian culture. The Hawaiian culture was almost extinct. The Hawaiian language was almost extinct.
Yep.
And then right after that time period, there was what was called the Hawaiian Renaissance, which I also didn't know about even after growing up there. My whole life, the Hawaiian Renaissance happened, and that's responsible for the Hawaii that we know today, which is obviously very full of Hawaiian culture and traditions and all those sorts of things. So I play a character named Rose Coyle, and she is the abused wife of one of the evil white men. and she's, she really has a deep appreciation for the Hawaiian culture. She has an adopted, part Hawaiian daughter, and she goes through a lot of, I don't want to give away too much, but, she goes through a lot of trials, tribulations, and all of the characters, in their own ways, each on their respective journeys, come to realize that this concept of Kuleana, which means spiritual responsibility, is really a privilege and not a burden. So Rose also comes to realize that in her own way on her journey.
So I've seen a lot of photography stills, and it does look like there's some of the wardrobe, you actually mentioned it too. Can you give us a little context for some of the photography that's in the film that we've been able to see?
Yeah. Well, our cinematographer Dan Hershey was just incredible. I had never worked with him before, and he's out of New York actually. And he flew over for the shoot. He had worked with one of the producers before on some of his other projects, and he just every single frame is just a work of art. And he did such an incredible job at bridging those time periods. You can really see the difference between the 70s and the 50s, and that's something that could have been a little bit confusing. Sometimes when people try to do that in movies, it gets a little bit confusing jumping back and forth. But I think the way he shot it really helps the audience follow along. And just incredible cinematography and incredible. Beth Ann, our wardrobe woman, was phenomenal. I mean, she's also from New York. And besides that, it was a really pretty much Hawaii crew. I don't mean to be singling out the people from New York, but it's appropriate because you guys are in New York. So,
this is correct.
You got to get a good visual guy, though, for Hawaii.
Yeah,
I would think so.
Those vistas are amazing,
So the film is deeply related to Hawaii, and that is your home turf. Is that how you were brought onto the picture? Like, how did you get kind of brought into this, and what was it like, going home?
Yeah, I met Brian Cohn, the writer, director, producer, back in 2011 at the Big Island Film Festival. And his first feature film was winning the grand jury prize there, and I was getting an achievement award there, kind of just like a general acting achievement award.
Sure.
So we were sort of in the same cocktail parties in the same circles, and we kept in touch, and he asked if he could send me the script that he'd been working on, by the way, it's like the last 12 years.
Oh, wow.
From now, so at that point, for a good number of years, even back then. And I said, of course, and I read it, and I knew I had to be a part of it. It was such a beautiful story. It, of course, it has gone through so many evolutions since
Sure.
2011. Every time he'd send a script to me, I thought, there's no way this can get any better than the last one that I read. But every single time it would. And the one that we ended up shooting with, the script that we ended up shooting with, was just absolutely stunning in every way.
Very cool. What's the process for getting a film like this into theaters too? Because it's kind of an under the radar film, but now it's kind of getting out there and shown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it, who's it up to do that? I mean, is it up to the production company, the actors? Like, I mean, who kind of rallies to get this shown into theaters?
Well, it's definitely not up to the actors. If that was, it was left up to the actors, I don't know if any film would ever see the theater. But it's the producers usually, and I have to say in this instance, but Brian again has just been the powerhouse behind it. Sometimes you can get a film. Most people get film distribution companies, and those companies help place the film in theaters, and also get foreign sales and get different territories sold around the world, and that helps filmmakers recoup their money. But there's so many complexities, and we went through with this film some complexities already with
Sure.
a sales agency, and Brian ended up sort of just taking the power back and doing everything himself. I have no idea. You'd have to talk to him. I have no idea how he's done it, but he's done these deals directly with these theater chains that are now expanding to the continental U.S. So because of the success of the first two opening weekend and the second weekend were sold out all across Hawaii.
Yeah.
The theater chains here on the mainland are interested in wanting to take a chance at it. It actually came in the opening weekend. I think the first movie, the highest performing movie in the certain theater in Honolulu was the new Steven Spielberg movie.
Yep.
And then Kuleana was the second highest.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
that was a pretty wonderful piece of news to receive.
Well, that's fantastic, and that's the reason I kind of asked that question is because you're also in addition to being a terrific actress, you are also a producer. You produce the John Kerwin Kids Show on Netflix. What hat do you enjoy wearing, and do you find yourself kind of contributing in different ways? Like even if you're brought in as an actress, I mean, is your producer hat always on? Is there which one do you prefer, and how do you kind of manage the two?
Yeah, it definitely always is. I think it's always been on, much to the dismay of a lot of the producers and wardrobe people and makeup artists of things that I've just been an actress on, because I've always wanted to not take control so much, but I had ideas and ways that I thought things could be better, and I always voiced them. And it's that element of part of me is much better suited to producing than to acting, for sure. And actually with Kuleana, I was executive producer on the movie. So,
Right.
As far as being involved creatively, since I wasn't involved that much in the nuts and bolts of production, because I was focused on the acting side, but the creative part before and some of the strategy after, for sure. Yeah, I definitely prefer producing now to acting. I still love acting, and I'm probably better as an actress than I've ever been as far as craft goes. But maybe because I am kind of detached from it.
Yeah.
But I love producing. I love, just the every step of the process, development, coming up with ideas and seeing them brought into fruition. And I mean, some of it can be a little bit difficult, and there's a lot of drudgery involved, especially after you've created this great project.
Yeah.
to make sure it sees the light of day and goes where it needs to go, and all of that. But it's really rewarding, and I don't find myself as bored as I used to be. I used to be bored a lot, always, sitting in my trailer bored, and now I'm never bored. There's not enough hours in the day now.
Speaking of not being bored, you're headed to Cannes in a few weeks. What's going on over there that you're making it out there for?
Well, I love the south of France, so it's a good excuse to go. Obviously, I'll be talking about Kuleana. There's a lot of heat behind that right now, and I'll try to hook Brian up with some foreign distributors and foreign salespeople over there. But I'll talk about the show. it's so fun because almost everyone I know from LA is over there on the French Riviera, and I can sort of have I got a place a little bit outside of Cannes, so I can have a nice sort of French Riviera experience, but also drive in and see everybody and have fun and go to parties, and I think it's one of the most fun film festivals around, and
Hassan
you couldn't
gets
ask
that
for a more beautiful location.
Yeah, Hassan
gets
that
to
on the
London
East
as well,
River.
and Paris, and just do a little bit of Europe time, much needed Europe time.
Hassan gets that French Riviera vibe from the East River. It's really good. He lives in the Bronx, so he gets that. Yeah, he gets that overview.
Yes, it's very much. It's very extravagant.
You are you are recognized widely from your role on True Blood, and even though the show has kind of run its course in terms of seasons, it's still much beloved, and it's based on the books. Do you ever get tired of the love you get from True Blood?
No, I don't get tired of it. I don't feel like maybe I'm just not in those circles as much anymore, like in the fantasy sci-fi circle, but I would love to talk about it more and reminisce more. I miss True Blood. It's one of my favorite projects that I ever had the pleasure of working on, and I wish it had never been canceled, and I wish we were still filming.
Okay, so in that spirit, we're going to play a little game here, and it's called Name That Vampire. Now,
all right.
These are vampires from movies. These are vampires from TV, technically books as well too. But we're gonna keep them. You'll be in good shape. I feel like this will be good.
Okay.
Or it'll be a disaster, and it'll make for a drop.
Yes.
And we'll just replay it over and over and over again. So no pressure. No pressure. All right.
I won't cheat. I'm in front of my computer right now, but I promise I won't do it. I will
Don't
not
make
look
promises.
at it.
Don't make promises
I would
here.
cheat.
Don't make promises.
I would totally cheat if I were you.
All right, here we go. Name that vampire number one. We're going to start with a softball. Likes coffins, Transylvanian soil, dislikes stakes to the heart, anyone named Van Helsing. And sunlight.
Isn't that every vampire?
Yeah, but would be like the original vampire. Who is the original vampire who likes Transylvanian soil?
Bela Lugosi?
Wow, you're even deeper than me. Actually, I was just hoping for Dracula. You're thinking. You're thinking way too much.
She's still got the actor's hat on. She's thinking behind the scenes.
I'm like, here's a softball. Name like the most famous vampire possible.
I thought I had to be very.
No, we are not very intelligent on this show.
No, we're not deep.
And very
We're not deep at all.
This is surface level. Boy, you are making this way too classy.
Yeah.
Like you just classed up.
Now
the
we gotta step up those questions.
Well, the next one's not. The next. It goes downhill from here.
That was the high end.
All right, this one's a little pop culture. Let's see how we do here. He likes brooding. It's a he. He likes brooding, playing piano, and someone named Bella. Dislikes icky fan fiction.
Oh boy.
Johnny Depp.
He is a vampire. He is a vampire. But no. The answer is Edward from the Twilight Saga.
Oh, I wasn't even. I'm so stuck on Dracula.
You're so higher class. Remember, think lowbrow. We are not. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, you got to come down a couple of steps to have this conversation with us.
All right, let's try this one. This one's a pop culture one too. This is all we do is pop culture. So this is a duo. This is a duo from a famous movie. Okay. Likes are Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie, and Nicole Kidman and Katie Holmes. Dislikes Jennifer Aniston, Angelina Jolie, and Nicole Kidman and Katie Holmes. Hassan, you want to help her out?
I don't even know that one.
I know it's Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
That is
I
correct.
don't know the movie. I can't remember.
It's Interview with the Vampire.
There we go. Let's stop. And Lewis. All right, here's
that's personal though.
This was pretty good,
you took him down on a personal level though.
Well, they both. Yeah, no,
you dragged him down.
Well,
you really.
I said I felt very clever putting this together. I thought there was some cleverness.
Until right now. Until just now.
All right, last one. This one's a layup for you. Likes Alan Ball, gratuitous nudity, and blood in their hair. Dislikes Suki. It's a duo.
It's a duo. Well, it's definitely. Gosh, I can't remember their characters' names. Alexander and Steven.
You are correct. Eric and Pam, you are correct. Woo!
You see how she went for the actor again?
No, I know.
She went
She's
right past the veneer.
She's
and
so
just
classier than the show. Why are you even on the show? How did we even get here?
I don't even know. I have no idea.
Kristina, as always, you have made us better.
Yes.
And we appreciate it.
That was fun. That was really impressive. I felt like you guys were thinking in much wider, broader terms than I was thinking, honestly.
We try. Tell everyone where they can find you online, and tell everyone about the movie one more time.
All right, it's Kuleana, and if you just Google it, it'll come up, and HawaiiCinema.com is the website that lists all the different theaters and cities and all of that it's in, and that's on all the different social media platforms if you just type in Kuleana, and then my social media across all platforms is at Kristina Anapau.
Very cool. Kristina, thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thank you.
And let us know how cans go. And if you got any more things coming up, we'll try to class ourselves up for the next time you come on.
we'll step those questions
I'll
up.
step it up a little.
I'll try to do something vampire related next. Wouldn't that be nice? Or just bring everything full circle.
Full circle. Full circle.
Yeah.
Thank you
All right,
so
thank you guys.
much.
Thanks for having me.
When we come back, spinning the racks.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you feeling unhappy with your body, shape, or size? Ever feel out of control with food? I'm Elizabeth from Nourish the Soul, and on this show, you will uncover the root to these imbalances and discover a permanent solution to having a healthy relationship to food and your body. Join us every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc.
TalkingAlternative.com.
I used to work for one of these news websites. I mean, you would basically scour news, find what was news about that news.
Don't most of them just steal news from other sites?
Oh, well, you're not stealing, you're quoting. It's much different.
Oh, okay.
It's much different.
All right. I'm going to quote your car after we leave this evening.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. I want to thank Kristina Anapau once again for coming on. Go check out her film if it's showing in theaters. Tom Martin chimed in with a really good question about Gather Films, the distributor. People can arrange for a screening of the film in their own community. So go hit her up on social media. Find out how you can do that. It'd be fantastic. And we want to thank Tom Martin from Tom Martin Media, the one that connected Kristina with us to begin with. So he's the reason she's on.
Yeah, I was setting you up for reasons.
Yeah, so it was very good. So we loved having her on. I think Hassan and I did a fantastic job.
Mostly me, but no, yes. Those questions were...
That's not bad, right?
I'll admit it.
I felt pretty clever. The Jennifer
one of them
Aniston
stumped the heck out of me, so...
So I ran that by my
well
wife,
done.
actually, today to see
Really?
if it made sense. And she's also a big Twilight fan, so I needed to find a question out. So I was like, we're doing like... We're like patterning it like long walks on the beach versus like likes and dislikes as if they're on a dating site.
Right.
And so she helped me out with that. But she got the interview with the vampire one, like boom.
Really?
But the thing is, so did Kristina. She got it too. But remembering Lestat and, I couldn't even tell you the other guy's name. It's Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, though, which I thought was pretty good.
I could have done that.
There's some good stuff
Consult with me next time we do these things.
little behind the curtain for everybody. Obviously, when we do things like this, we go extra. You know,
Yes.
so there was Blade. We never got to Blade.
No.
And that was one of my favorite ones. But I knew she wasn't going to get it because this is very isolated. Maybe she would have.
That's a little geek discrimination.
It was. I said likes Marvel Comics and the movie Major League, dislikes going to prison for tax evasion.
Which could be anybody who goes to prison for tax
Well,
evasion.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
dislikes
Although-
Tommy Lee Jones for half a movie, but then likes him at the end.
Alright.
What other Wesley Snipes? Like Spike Lee? No, was Snipes?
No.
Snipes wasn't in that.
No.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
We do
What
this
Tommy
every
Lee
week.
movie was Wesley Snipes in?
What's that?
What Tommy Lee movie was Wesley Snipes in?
Oh, that was The Fugitive 2.
Oh!
What was it called though? U.S. Marshals.
U.S. Marshals.
U.S.
Holy.
Redemption.
Holy crap. Wow, that was an obscure one.
All right,
That's
so
got Robert Downey Jr. That's pre-Iron Man
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's no good. All right.
No, not really that good at all.
We are psyched the next 3 weeks are gonna be all about this little quiet movie.
Little tiny movie.
Called Avengers Infinity War.
Never heard of it.
I know. So I feel like it's got a shot. It's got a shot to be pretty
You think
big.
so? You think you're gonna take it?
I think it might do pretty well.
No. Does it beat Black Panther?
Well, I don't know if it beats Black Panther, but I do know
Could
we are patterning our entire Spinning the Rack segment around Infinity War. Will it be Black Panther? I don't know.
What are you laughing at?
But fans need to be prepared for heartbreak.
How could it not beat Black Panther?
Yeah, I think it will, actually.
Yeah.
The question is, will it beat the original Avengers?
I hope so.
I know. Well, you're not a big fan of that one.
I love that one.
Oh, you do?
I didn't like the second one.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, we talked about that with Pat
Yeah.
Shea. Which, by the way, got to tell you, our March Madness, our Final Four, really picked up steam. Like, people were really, the day of the final.
They were into it.
People were getting into it.
No, I'm not a fan of Joss Whedon, but I loved the first Avengers.
Yeah.
I think that I saw that movie in the theater maybe 6 times, and I don't see anything 6 times. Even when
not
I
anymore.
own it.
Not anymore.
No.
Avengers Infinity War, this is coming from Screen Rant. Co-director Joe Russo forewarned Marvel fans to come watch the film emotionally prepared.
Oh, boy.
As the most anticipated blockbuster of the year slowly nears its debut, the cast and crew of the film have begun their global press tour. Screenings, however, only include some sequences from the first act, with people only getting to see the full film for the first time during its Los Angeles premiere on the 23rd to prevent any spoilers. Speaking with Metro UK during the recently held red carpet, Joe reiterated on why Thanos isn't your typical one-dimensional villain from past Marvel movies. This is it. Thanos is an unstoppable villain. He's virtually invincible. He's highly intelligent, genius-level intelligent. He's like the Genghis Khan of the universe, and to stop him, it's going to cost them a lot. That's got to be the biggest thing, right? It's like, who's going to die?
Yeah, it's all over the place. It's all over the place who's going to die. I'm actually sick of hearing about who's going to die. I would like to hear something else about it other than who do you think is going to die? Because, of course, there's going to be dead people.
Yeah.
It would not be a decent movie if someone didn't die.
So, from Atomic Geekdom, the major questions...
Who's going to die?
Yeah, that's actually the first one. Who's going to die? Probably the biggest question of the whole film. Both the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige have said there will be deaths in this film, and for the time being, they will be permanent. Here's a short list.
And for the time being, they'll be permanent. Hold on. Can we just kind of immortalize that sentence, please? For the time being, it'll be permanent.
This was quoted from Atomic Geekdom, not from Kevin Feige.
Doesn't matter. And for the time being, it will be permanent. Oh, he didn't. That's not a quote. He didn't say that personally.
No.
So that's just bad writing.
No, they did it. They put it in parentheses, so it was good. They're speculating Nebula. Obviously, we'll probably see a confrontation between Nebula and Gamora as they face Thanos.
Actually try to speculate who's gonna die? Aren't these potential spoilers if it does turn out that way?
Well, no, because you could literally name every single character and say why they should die and why they won't die.
If we get in
and
depth,
then we could do a draft based on these characters, and we could bring on guests, and we could all pick a team of people, and you have to draft these players, and whatever team has the most characters that survive wins. think we just mapped out the next 3 weeks of Secrets of the Sire. Yes! That's a win. It's a win.
We won't get fooled again. Won't get fooled again.
I'm going to put your picture back. Like, that's it. That's it. So they speculate that everybody dies. In the comics, Thanos does get all the stones and kills the Avengers. A small faction, including Silver Surfer, Adam Warlock, and Nebula, risk life and limb to retrieve the Gauntlet and bring everyone back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that just kind of gave it away.
No, but they don't have Silver Surfer in this.
So, like, they can't throw Silver Surfer in there. They threw Spider-Man in at the last minute. Oh, by the way, we have license to use Spider-Man. So, hey, look, and he's in this movie. It's almost like we knew he was going to be in this movie.
Who's Peter Dinklage playing? He's in this. Another question has been plaguing the internet.
He's Traft.
He's Larry Trask.
Yeah.
What if it's like? What if this movie? What if they did like some massive re-edits, and all of a sudden they're like, there's
a crossover, and there's Wolverines.
All of a sudden, Wolverine's there, and like you're like, what the?
And I'd be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Wow. This is the greatest.
No, I don't actually know who Peter Dinklage is going to be.
All right, this guy thinks it's going to be Pip the Troll.
All right, well.
All right, coming up next week. We are going to begin.
The guy who thought it was going to be Pip the Troll didn't even get a name mentioned.
Well, it's this article. Comic Geekdom. Go check him out. I want to thank our guest, Kristina Anapau. I want to thank Tom Martin for connecting us as always. I want to thank all of our loyal followers and fans who check us out. Please go support us on iTunes, write reviews. It really helps us out. Next week, our Avengers Infinity War countdown begins. See you later, folks.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.